We will talk about Hazret Mehdi and end times, because we are in the end times. But first of all, we would like to start with the science leading to faith topics. And one of them is a very special sign. It is the mother's milk. Inshallah.
Inshallah. We know that mother's milk is one of the most important miracles of Allah, mashallah. And the ingredient it contains meet all the needs of a newborn baby. And furthermore, there is another important point here. Those ingredients change according to the changing needs of a newborn babies. For example, we know that the premature babies need special cares. Also, when they are newborn, they are usually in intensive cares. But and also the milk of the mother's milk also have contain high levels of fat and, for example, protein, chloride, and iron to meet the baby's needs in this process. And the other important point is scientists have all kinds of technological devices, have all kinds of sources, but they cannot produce anything near like this fluid, mashallah. And on the other side, the cells can do. For example, these cells have the meshless formula for mother's milk, but somehow they know when to begin to produce this milk in the mother's body, and also when to change the ingredients of the fluid they produce. So when we think this process, how does the production of mother's milk begin and how it is controlled? These questions are really very important. And also in the answers to these questions, there are a lot of hidden facts of creation. The hormonal system, for example, and the nervous system work together. And this takes place by the results of a flawless flow of information and planning, mashallah. And there is an hormone, a very special hormone in the mother's body. It activates the milk production and it causes prolactin, mashallah. And this is secreted by there is a gland. It is pituitary gland, and there this prolactin hormone is secreted.
MashaAllah, this is not a system that hormones could have thought of themselves. This system is created by Allah without any flaw, mashallah.
Mashallah, surely.
Mashallah.
Mashallah. And at the beginning of pregnancy, a number of factors restrict the secretion of this hormone prolactin. We may think about this production, this secretion, like the pressure on a brake pedal in a car moving downhill. We know that the tendency of the car is to keep rolling freely downhill, but it will not do so as long as the brake pedal is pushed down. And in the human body, milk production is suppressed like this tactic, and stopping the production of the hormone prolactin is also very wise, because at this point there is no point to produce milk when the baby even is not born. So how does this brake pedal we talk about function, or how this prolactin, this one hormone, kept from secreted earlier than it is required? Mashallah, it is really very miraculous that I will talk about this process. There is the hypothalamus region in the mother's brain, as we have, of course, and there in the mother's brain, this hypothalamus region secretes a hormone, another hormone actually, that suppresses the production of prolactin. And this hormone also has another name. It is prolactin inhibiting hormone. We can say it PIH also in shortly. Slows the production of prolactin, and like as I said before, like putting a brake to this secretion. And there is while in the in the process of pregnancy, the hormone there is another hormone works in the body of mother. It is estrogen, and this hormone permits the hypothalamus to secrete the PIH, and the secretion estrogen also declines when the baby is birthed. And at this point, this is like the foot that slowly releasing the brake, and then the car is starting to work. And at this point, when this hormone is secreted by estrogen, then we know that the milk glands starts to produce mother's milk. They know that somehow it is time to produce milk for the baby. MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
And thanks to this design, milk production is prevented during the first months of the pregnancy, because as I said before, there is no point to produce milk in the mother's body. Yes, because there is no baby.
There's economy of
Yes,
production.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. And we can also, I want to remind another point about the mother's milk. While we are talking about it, we use the word of milk, but actually this fluid mostly consists of water, because also other than the nutritions, the babies also needs fluid, needs water, and the most hygienic fluid, of course, is the mother's milk, because mashallah, the water we drink, of course, we can drink it because we have an immune system, and this system can protect us from the microbes and viruses. But for these babies, it is really very dangerous. But Allah prevents them, mashallah, from this kinds of a danger by making this fluid mostly consist of water, mashallah. MashaAllah.
Also, the newborn baby has a very sensitive digestive system, and the mother's milk is the most easily digested food for the new baby.
MashaAllah.
And it is nutritionally very rich.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
MashaAllah.
And sometimes they resemble the cow's milk with the mother's milk, but actually there are a lot of differences between them. For example, to digest the cow's milk is really so hard. Only an adult stomach can digest it easily, but the mother's milk is really so easy for the baby to digest, as our sister Duygu mentioned, mashallah.
MashaAllah.
And also scientists in last years revealed that there is another miraculous feature of mother's milk, that actually the mothers should feed the babies 2 years with their milk, because the ingredients are very important for the body's development, for the organs development, for brain, immune system, etc. And this important information, mashallah, only recently, of course, discovered by science, was revealed by Allah 14 centuries ago in the Quran.
MashaAllah.
I would like to read some Quran verses about this miracle. I seek refuge in Allah from accursed Satan. We can also show on the screen the verses. I seek refuge in Allah from accursed Satan. We have instructed man concerning his parents. Bearing him caused his mother great debility, and the period of his weaning was 2 years. Give thanks to me and to your parents. I am your final destination. Surah Luqman, verse 14. MashaAllah. And also in another verse, Allah says that I seek refuge in Allah from accursed Satan. Mothers should nurse their children for 2 full years. Those who wish to complete the full term of nursing, mashallah.
MashaAllah.
Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 233. As we see, mother's milk is a matchless compound for the babies, and it is created by Allah to meet these needs, mashallah. And and we see a very cute picture of baby on the screen, mashallah. Allah creates all living things in a perfect manner, mashallah. We can see it, inshallah. And Allah mentions that mother's milk is beneficial for the baby to be fed with it in 2 years, mashallah. And because of this, because of all these artificial baby foods prepared with today's, with present day technology, cannot replace with this fluid, with mother's milk, mashallah, as a blessing from Allah for us, mashallah.
MashaAllah. As you have mentioned, these all the hormones and everything happening in the mother's body, these are all proteins. We are talking about proteins, and all the time, as Mr. Adnan Oktar always mentioned about the proteins, these proteins, just any single amino acid of it, can never be stay on its order by coincidence. These proteins are very special. We are talking about a flawless system, including mother's body, including baby's growth, and timing. All the time as the baby is growing, the milk's contents change. The ingredients change depending on the needs of the baby. How could a mother's body know that what the baby's body needs? We are talking about cells. The human body consists of cell, we say 100 trillion cells. And also baby has cells. But we are talking about something, about sacrificing again itself. It is producing something which it will never use. The baby's body will use it. The mother's body will never use it, but knows it. Knows that the baby will need it, so it produces it according to this. And also it can produce some of the defense system for the baby, for some of the first months. Some of the immunoglobulins, antibodies, that baby's body is not ready for the outer world. So the mother's milk contains such ingredients also, just to protect the baby. And that's why in many advertisements on the screen about the baby's food or anything else, they're always trying to say that it will defend your baby. We put some ingredients in it that it can defend the baby like the mother's milk. But when we look at the mother's milk and compare it with any kind of other baby's food, it is not like that.
It's antibacterial also, I think.
Yes,
mashallah. They can't imitate. And as you remember, we talked about kangaroos, babies. They are feeding mother's milk. At the same time, there is 3 baby inside the pouch of the kangaroo mother, and at the same time, 3 different milk are produced
according to the period of the baby.
According to the age of baby. If it's very little, the milk is more transparent, and if it becomes bigger, if it grows, and the milk become more intensified. MashaAllah. This is all the mercy of Allah. MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. As we said, the proteins, all of them, they are all connecting to these cells. They are all giving some information to the cells to produce, to put which kind of thing to inside of what to put, what to mix, what to give to the baby. Even if you cook something, you have, for example, something written on a paper. To put how much salt, how much anything else, you need to know what to put, because at the end you have an opportunity, you have some intention, you want to do something. And also milk is like that. It has a purpose to be produced. As a result, but there is no something written on a paper, or cells cannot read anything to make it. They don't know the mixture, but they are producing it correctly, as you said, Sister Begum, at the exact time. And always correctly, in every mother's body and for every baby. It is very something miraculous. It's obvious that it is always created, all the time.
All the purposes and all the causes are created by Allah.